Hi friends, Evolving guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for following along with our collection journey. As you can see, we are going to be breaking out some Paldea Evolved today. So as you know, if you follow the channel, I try to collect master sets. I do have some sealed stuff, which I keep saying I'm going to do a video about, which I haven't yet. But anyway, I do try to focus my purchasing of packs to open. I try to focus on things that we're still seeking master sets of. And in the Scarlet and Violet block, we have a base set, master set. We have Obsidian Flames, Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, Stellar Crown. There's a bunch that we have completed, and so in some ways, as a collector and as an opener of cards, it doesn't make sense to put money into sets where we have the master set. That's part of the incentive to getting a master set, because then we don't have to rip packs of that. But Paldea is the one. I mean, in some ways, it's like we're very close. All we need is the Magikarp Illustration Rare, and I know it doesn't make any sense to rip packs just for one particular card, but on the other hand, we're collectors and it's fun. And so I've been amassing, as you can see here, I've been amassing Paldea packs. So I've got 3 of the build and battle kits. One of my local game stores had some of these on hand for a good price, and so I grabbed some of those. I have those lined up here, and then I've mentioned before I have a grocery store in my area that's been having these sleeved boosters just on sale. And then I have some Paldea. These came from some tins that I picked up recently. So anyway, I think altogether there's 29 packs in here. Not quite a booster box worth of packs, but definitely a lot of stuff to open. We'll have some fun with this today. So I'm going to set this one pack aside for last. I don't know why. It just was kind of the odd one out. I have 28 packs, and this was like the odd one out. So I'm going to set that aside. That'll be our last pack, and we'll see if we have any luck with that. So we're just going to start ripping into these. Again, of course, we'll hopefully get some good pulls in general. That would be awesome. But we are really seeking, there's the Magikarp. Maybe that's a good sign. We saw the Magikarp common there to start off with. But we're going to open these. And of course, like we're going to get some hits. That's inevitable with this many packs. And pull rates for this set are really solid. I think if you watch like Danny Phantom, I like his stuff. He's talked about how for the first few sets of Scarlet and Violet, they didn't really adjust pull rates so that the good news is that it was pretty easy to get good pulls, but the trick is that some like double rares and illustration rares were actually harder to pull than the special illustration rares. So in this case, we're seeking the Magikarp. That is an illustration rare, which is not so hard to pull. Oh, there's nothing there. Illustration rares, you would expect those in general, in our experience, like one in every 10 to 12 packs, you would get one illustration rare. So it's not crazy to pull them. I would think out of this almost 30 packs, we would pull 2 to 3 illustration rares. The trick is with Paldea is that there's 32 or 36 illustration rares. So there's just a lot of illustration rares, which means that, the chances of pulling any particular one, we should pull 2 to 3 in all of this. And so, of course, you're hoping for the Magikarp of those. But because there's so many of them, the chances of any particular one are pretty low. I think the trick that Danny has talked about with Paldea and Obsidian Flames and Scarlet Violet base set is that SIRs were not any harder to pull, really, than like some of these other rarities. And because there are fewer SIRs in these sets, especially Obsidian Flames, there's only 6 SIRs in Obsidian Flames. And because they're not that hard to pull, you're actually more likely to pull like the Charizard SIR than you were, some of the double rares even. So it's a little kind of funny, and they adjusted that back during Paradox Rift. And it seems like, I don't know, I feel like, I know people complain about pull rates, but I feel like they've actually arrived at a pretty happy medium where the SIRs, the special illustration rares, which are like kind of chase cards in most sets, those you get about 1 every 2 booster boxes. So it's not guaranteed. If you bought a booster box, you're not guaranteed an SIR, but it does make them, I see something peeking out. We're going to get our first hit. It did not look like the Magikarp, though. It keeps like sticking. All right, Quaxley. We got a Quaxley illustration rare. Again, here's an illustration rare, so we would expect to pull a few of these. There's so many cool cards. I just like the detail of this, and this is probably a card that's like not super, notable necessarily, but Just there's so many good cards in Scarlet and Violet. I think I've been really happy with Scarlet and Violet. It took adjustment for sure. So those are the loose packs I have, except for the one I set aside. Now we're into the sleeved booster packs. Again, these loose packs came from some tins. I picked up some tins at my local game store. Some of the early early Scarlet and Violet tins. He still had those on the shelf for a good price. So I grabbed them. There were other packs in those tins, which I set those aside to open in other ways on the channel, but I pulled out the Paldea. I knew they had Paldea inside, and so I wanted to grab them. So now we're on to the sleeved boosters. Again, these are in I have a local grocery store that they got. I mean, they do have pretty solid, I mean, these days it's hard to find Pokemon cards anywhere, even there. I think for a long time it felt like it was kind of this hidden gem that not too many people knew about, or I don't know, maybe just demand was lower, but I could go in there and, you know, they would charge MSRP, which, you know, these days that's amazing, you know, to find stuff. So these Paldeas are $4.99, these Paldea sleeved, and they must have gotten some cases of these, because they had a bunch on the shelves and they disappeared over time, but then they replenished, so they must have gotten like a stock. So I'm glad to get Paldea. This is one of the sets, again, because we're chasing a card in Paldea Evolved. You know, it's a set that I keep my eyes out for if I can ever get some Paldea packs. Again, I feel like just each pack is kind of that lottery ticket. We're looking for that Magikarp. Now that card, it's a tricky card because, I mean, as a master set builder, I mean, you know, we don't have infinite resources. And also, I don't know, it's that, like, I think, I don't know, last I checked, it's in the like 2 to 250 range. I mean, it's funny because I still remember, I mean, you kind of, oh, hey, Tinglu EX. Oh, and a Tinglu, look at that. That's so cool. Check it out. We got the double Tinglu. What are the chances? I don't know if they do this on purpose, but I feel like that happens more than maybe we would expect. So that's cool. We got a double hit Tinglu, and including a hyper rare. But anyway, I don't even know what I was saying. There's just so many, trying to do two things at once here, open packs and talk. But, oh yeah, I was just talking about the Magikarp and the cost. I mean, yeah, I sort of kicked myself. I mean, I remember when the card was like not, you know, I mean, I don't know, it was under $100, well under $100 for a long time. I think when the set first released, it was kind of a cool card, but it didn't stand out maybe initially. From just like a cost perspective, it was not one of the like super chase cards in the set. What's hiding there? Oh, Fortress EX. All right, there's a double rare. And yeah, I also remember then it kind of jumped up. It kind of like, I remember it sort of doubled in price and then was like 100. And I remember actually I still have this image of seeing it in my local card shop for like $100. And I was just like, oh, that seems like a lot, you know, especially just knowing that it's all relative, right? It's just about the priming. You know, we were primed to like think that this is a $50 or $60 card, and then suddenly it's $100, and I just think, oh, that seems, and I remember seeing it and I almost bought it and was just like, well, I'm gonna hold off because that seems like maybe it'll come back down. And of course now it's like doubled from there, and it's between $200 and $250. I think it kind of maybe has kind of solidified its place as the chase card in this set. So now, you know, it's, again, it's sort of a price that like, that's a lot to pay for a single card. And if you were to buy one, you'd really want to make sure that you were getting like a good one. That's the trick too, is like any card like that, like if anyone has pulled it and it's in decent shape, they're probably going to grade it. So finding a raw Magikarp, although I guess the good news is because Paldea is still available on shelves, as you can see here, you know, there's still packs being opened, and that means there's chances that new ones are being pulled, and so maybe people are just selling it raw. But anyway, to pay, you know, $250 for a raw card, you'd really want to make sure it's, even if you're not going to grade it. I mean, for me, like, I'm not going to grade it, at least not in the short term. I don't really grade cards, but then there's that kind of trick of like, I don't want to, you know, I'm not going to buy a $250 card that's like off center or that is, you know, has problems with it. I mean, if I'm going to pay that much for a card, I would like it to be near mint and to be gradable. But again, there's probably not too many of those around. So anyway, just like on one hand, I know it doesn't make sense to rip packs And, if you add up what I spent on all of this stuff, it's not enough to buy the card, but it's getting, closer. So on one hand, you're probably better off just buying the card. But on the other hand, I don't know, there's just something about spending all that, even though I'm spending it on, in other ways on like these packs. So I don't know. It's a little tricky, especially because it's the last card we need for this set. And then, again, as kind of the way I think about it as a collector is like, once we have that master set, as I was talking about earlier, once we master a set, then I don't, if I end up with packs of that set, that's fine. But I'm not going to go out of my way to buy those packs, or I'm going to maybe steer my resources to sets where we're still chasing cards. And so if I can cross a master set off my list, including in this case, if we could just like master Paldea, then then we don't have to worry about hustling for Paldea packs. And I can push that money to sets where we're still looking for things. So anyway, you can see here, like so far, we're doing okay. We've gotten 2 double rares, 1 hyper rare, and 1 illustration rare, which is kind of, the hyper rare is the hardest to pull. Although I can't remember actually for these early sets if that was the case, where hyper rares as difficult to pull as they are now. Right now, hyper rares are actually the most difficult. You pull 1 hyper rare for, I think it's like 1 every 120 packs or so. Even if hyper rares aren't the most valuable cards in a set, they're just the ones that are hardest to pull. There tend to be fewer of them, so I think the chances of the ability to master them by pulling is a little bit better than the SIRs, because there's just more SIRs in most sets. So that's where we are. We are chasing that Magikarp. I mean, I don't know. We'll open all these and see, like, does it make sense to... I mean, that's kind of, as master set builders, we kind of get in this position where, we get all the low-hanging fruit cards from opening stuff, and then you pull some stuff and you buy some stuff, and then usually for us, because, the rare cards are hard to pull, you end up... I mean, in our case, there's a lot of master sets, especially in the Sword and Shield block, where we have almost every card except for the 1 or 2 like chase cards in the set. But at this point, especially in the Sword and Shield block, those cards have gone through the roof, and so it's just like difficult to we might need the Giratina alt art in Lost Origin, but just like we're going to pay whatever it is, $400 or $500 or $600 for a card. I mean, I'm not, at least not right now. So it just means we're just not going to have that. If I ever get a chance to get my hands on a Lost Origin pack, I'm happy to do it, and just again, you sort of think of it like a lottery ticket, but I don't think we're going to probably... So some sets are probably we're just not going to master, and that's okay too. We just have to kind of accept that. I mean, part of me is a completist, and I really want to get a full master set, but yeah, you do what you can do. Everyone, you have to kind of know your limits, have your collection budget in mind, and just kind of put your resources where that's going to bring you the most card joy. And so anyway, we're getting down to the end of these sleeved boosters. I think there were 15 of those, and there were 4 of the other, or there were 5 of the loose packs. So I think by the time we get done with these few more sleeved boosters, we will have opened 20 packs, and we'll kind of assess where we are. It doesn't feel like I'm being blown away by hits here. We just have the 4 hits, and 2 of them are double rares, which again, not so exciting. So I don't know. That's feeling a little underwhelming to me. I mean, you can't expect the moon when you open stuff, but I don't know. Out of 20 packs, I would have expected closer to, I mean, not necessarily 10 hits, that's half, but I don't know, a third of the hits, that would be maybe 6 or 7 packs would have hits. And, 2 of our hits came from the same pack, but I mean, that's okay. Just, it looks like we only have these 4 hits so far, so that'll be we have 2 more chances here, but that would be a little disappointing if that's all we ended up with. Nothing there. All right, this is kind of a bummer here. I don't know if it's better or worse to go single packs. I mean, you're not guaranteed, like if you bought a booster box of Paldea. That's the trick too, is a booster box of Paldea. I mean, these sleeve boosters we're paying $4.99 for, so that's like, if you added up, if you bought 36 of those, it would be, more than MSRP, more than booster box MSRP, but you can't get a booster box these days for anywhere near it. I don't know what a Paldea booster box would go for these days. I'm sure at least $200. And if you got your hands on one, it just doesn't make sense to open it. Again, for about the price of a booster box, you could just buy for us to buy the last card we need. So anyway, well, there we go. That is where we're at so far. Now we do have 3 build-in battle kits left. I like these products a lot. I think they're often underappreciated, undervalued. They're sometimes hard to find. So the build and battle kits, they have 4 packs inside, and they also have the promo pack with the promo in front, so we can see. I have a master set of the promos, so there you go, Pelipper. Those I can resell. I have a little vendor mall space where I live. So you get the 4 packs of Paldea, which we'll crack into. And again, you get the Pelipper, so that I can resell and get some of my value back for the set. Again, this local store where I got these, they were only charging $20 for these, which is, pretty obscene in a good way. So, you think about it, it's actually kind of a deal because you're getting... you're paying, if you just looked at the pack price, it's $5 per pack, which is what I'm paying at the other store. But you get the promo pack inside as well. So depending on how you value that. Hey, Mousehold, that's a cool one. Oh, and a Squawkabilly. So there we go. We got a couple hits. I don't know if the build and battles, I'm not a believer that there's different hit rates for different products. But that said, I don't know, I have kind of wondered, these build-in battles are meant for players. They're meant for the pre-release tournaments. And I do wonder if there's a little bit of incentive. I don't know if they could even engineer this, but there's a little incentive to have the build-in battles be a little better hit rates just because, you've got, ideally, what those are used for is 2 weeks out from the set releases, people are, it's meant to generate interest and excitement in the new set. So if the pull rates stunk in those, it might be a little disappointing. So for people who gather to play, there's Oricorio. People who gather to play for the pre-release tournaments, maybe you could juice pull rates a little bit to kind of get people excited to go out and buy the new set when it releases a few weeks later. So I don't know. I'm not saying that is, I could see how that makes sense. I'm not saying that that's been my experience. I guess we'll see what the hit rates are. These are just 3 boxes, so it's a limited sample size. But my experience opening build-in battles in the past, I wouldn't say I've noticed. There's a Pikachu reverse. I haven't noticed that it's feels a lot better. All right, last one. We've gotten the 2 hits from this build and battle, so I think the Mousehold has some value. It's an illustration rare. So again, thinking about rarity type, we've pulled 2 illustration rares. I would have expected, 2 to 3 would be probably on average what you would expect from this mini pack. So we've already hit the 2. Again, not the one we want. We're chasing that Magikarp. And we've opened a lot of Paldea, and I've definitely opened a lot of illustration rares in the set. You kind of would think that, I assume that the Magikarp is not any harder to pull than any of the other. Oh, there's a Faulkner. Okay, so there's a ultra rare. So, as a box, that box had the 4 packs. We pulled 1 double rare, 1 illustration rare, and 1 ultra rare in 4 packs. So that's pretty solid. But yeah, we've opened a lot of Paldea over the years, and again, just now we pulled 2 illustration rares, so pulling an illustration rare is not so exciting. Just that we've opened enough of it, I would kind of have hoped, that maybe we would get lucky. And so there's Tinkaton, another of those pre-release packs. Got 4 more packs of Paldea here, so let's break into these. So yeah, that was a pretty decent. That first box was decent. We got 3 hits, so I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. We're kind of running out of space here. There's a lot. We've opened a lot of cards. So anyway, so this is just, we're gonna. I kind of did this with with Silver Tempest, the same grocery store that I've been talking about. They had, for a while, they had the same thing with the Silver Tempest sleeve boosters. And there, for those there was kind of like rumors on the YouTube channels that, you know, those were juiced, that there were extra hits. And I don't know, I think with Silver Tempest, we did have the experience of having like more hits than you might expect in some of those products and packs. Here, I'm just gonna, these aren't like coming off super smoothly, so there's nothing there. So nothing in those first 2 packs. You would hope that, like, again, I don't know, as a pre-release tournament, like if you bought a pre-release pack, you get one of these. And if you didn't get any hits, I don't know, again, I don't know if they can like micromanage things in that way to like, there's another Magikarp. We've pulled several of the Magikarp commons, so maybe, you know, that's like a good sign, right? That there's a Magikarp hiding in here. Not in this one. All right, so that's 0 for 3 on those. So yeah, if you were doing a pre-release and this was your build and battle kit, you'd be a little disappointed with nothing. But yeah, maybe they don't guarantee. I might, yeah, we'll go. There's something, but just a Belly Bolt EX. So yeah, you'd be pretty disappointed. Just one double rare in that box. All right, we're down to our very last build and battle. So we have blasted through these 29 packs. Actually, I do have the 1 pack setting aside here. It's right here. We're going to make that our last pack. We've had some last pack magic. I mean, I guess just when you open enough stuff, there's going to be a few of those times where you hit on the last pack. But including with Paldea, if you look back, we did do a Paldea opening. There's another Tinkaton. We got 2 of those. That's fine. We'll resell that guy. All right, 4 more packs and then the 1 last pack. So 5 packs left. We did have the Iono Special Illustration Rare as last pack magic for this set when we did. Well, that is kind of sticking there. So we have had last pack magic with Paldea. I mean, I wouldn't complain if we had some not last pack magic with this. Slowking, Palmot, and a Palmot. We got a double Palmot, but that is not exciting. So thanks for watching. We have different videos we do on the channel. For me, I really like just doing videos is kind of a way to structure my openings of things. So Honchkrow, Bombardier, there's a Dendra. So we do have, we'll add that to the top. Again, I think a lot of the ultra rares, the full art trainers, are basically bulk pricing. So probably when I see those, like, you know, they can be cool cards, but from kind of a value perspective, they're not going to be so exciting. All right, we have 2 more chances. Nothing is peeking out there. Wigglytuff, hey. We kind of needed that for my, I'm doing a, it's not, I don't think the videos are out yet. I mean, they're not doing a 151, doing a Pokedex challenge, and Wigglytuff was actually kind of tough to track down, not because it's expensive, but just like there aren't a ton of Wigglytuff cards, and I needed that for my Generation 1. All right, so we're getting down there. It seems like Magikarp has not been in the cards. That is a bummer. There are still more of these out there. I mean, I'll see Paldea out there. I don't know. Again, I'm at the point where I really would love to master this set. I haven't seen... nope. And something. Another Tinglu. So we've had 2 Tinglu EX double rares. All right. So we're down to our last pack. So thanks for watching. I mean, we're still fishing for that Magikarp. Is it in this last pack? Probably not. But anyway, we've gotten some hits. You can see if that feels like... I mean, definitely not. We did not get our value back. There's really no... We didn't pull an SIR. We did pull 1 hyper rare Tinglu. I assume there's not a ton of value. The Mousehold is probably the most valuable card in here. But I imagine that's around $10 is kind of my gut. So yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't... From a dollars and cents perspective, it doesn't pay to rip packs to chase cards. I mean, we have some cards here that will... put into our collection or move along, but no Magikarp. So last chance here. That's kind of a cool art. And then, yeah, check back for more videos. All right, here's our Oh, I skipped the... Oh, nope. Okay. Well, so much for chasing Magikarp. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll continue to have more videos. It's a fun for me to do, and it kind of structures my opening, like I said. So, yeah, follow back or follow along, like and subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll catch you on the next video.